So have you filled out your application for the PTD?
What is that? So if I take it to trial, that means I get a longer sentence or something, right?
You'll have to speak to your attorney. What I
I
understand.
don't, if I do that, this whole thing is gonna go and I am going to have a heart attack because I'm not well.
All right. So Ms. Gardia, even though you're in handcuffs and in custody, what's going to end up happening is your attorney is going to do a walkthrough with you. So you'll be released today and you won't be going to the Bear County Jail. Do you want to be done with this probation? Are you ready to just move on with your life?
Definitely.
I'm sorry?
Definitely.
All right, so there's one or two ways you can move on with your life. The easy way for the court, and the easy way for probation would be for me to send you to prison for 3 years because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So, I mean, we can help you move on with your life that way.
No.
You understand? Okay, here's the thing. You have a drug problem. That's why we're here. Hello.
How are you?
All right, how are you doing?
Good.
So have you filled out your application for the PTD?
What is that?
Did your attorney not speak to you about the pretrial diversion?
Yeah, I told him I didn't want to take any type of probation or anything due to my veteran status, and me and my parents have already, my mother actually wrote a letter to give to the court. My father already went down to the office to drop the charges, so I'm not understanding why I have to take a plea for this case.
Oh, you don't have to take a plea, but your attorney will speak to you about people dropping charges.
Mhm.
Because some cases, the complainant can say it, they don't want to go forward, but this is not the complainant's case. It's the state of Texas versus.
Right.
And the reason why it says the state of Texas versus, whenever you have alleged crimes that have been committed, the crime is against the state of Texas.
Okay.
So, Ms. Ferguson.
Yes, ma'am.
She doesn't want PTD. So give me a jury trial setting, please.
So if I take it to trial, that means I get a longer sentence or something, right?
You'll have to speak to your attorney. What I can tell you about jury trials is what ends up happening is your attorney is present, the state is present. There's something called jury selection because this is a felony. 12 people will sit in the box
Yes, ma'am.
and the state will present their case through witness testimony or whatever evidence they have. And then you and your attorney can present evidence if you choose to. You don't have to because the burden is on the state. And then the jury will deliberate after closing arguments and they will make a decision on whether you're guilty or not guilty. If they say that you're guilty, this is a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility. And depending, I don't know your case. All I know is the charges. So you may be eligible for probation from a jury. All right, Ms.
I'm already a felon. Is there any way we can postpone this, like reset my court date? Because I don't
She's
really
giving you-
talk to my.
She's giving you a trial date now. What's the date?
February 12th.
All right, your jury trial date is going to be set for February 12th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused and you'll need to be here at 9 a.m. for jury trial. All right, so where we are now, I'm sorry, before I say where we are, is there anything probation wishes to say?
No, Judge.
All right, let me just tell you where we are now. Where we are now is, do you want to be done with this probation? Are you ready to just move on with your life?
Definitely.
I'm sorry?
Definitely.
All right, so there's one or two ways you can move on with your life. The easy way for the court, and the easy way for probation would be for me to send you to prison for 3 years because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So, I mean, we can help you move on with your life that way.
No.
So why are you not doing your drug test?
My drug test?
Yes.
I don't get UAs.
No, you have not submitted to drug testing. You're gonna submit to drug testing today. Do you
Okay.
understand?
My PO hasn't,
Well, I'm telling you, you're gonna submit to drug testing today. If you do not, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna restart the BIPP course.
Yes, ma'am.
If you do not complete that, a warrant's gonna be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Understood.
Is there anything you do not understand of what's being asked for you?
No, no.
Probation. Is there anything else she needs?
Judge, once the BIPP, her officer is asking that once her BIPP is finished, that she continue with the TAP recommendation. The TAP recommended, dual diagnosis outpatient treatment, monthly drug testing, and, AA meetings when necessary.
All right, this is what you're gonna do. There's gonna be a UA today. What's gonna be the results of that UA?
It will be negative. We're positive, I'm sorry.
And what are you gonna be positive for?
Marijuana.
And what else?
Yeah.
All right. So this is why you've been falling off.
You said marijuana and what?
And meth.
Yes, sorry. That's not my head.
All right, how often are you using?
Not often at all.
What does that mean?
I have really bad anxiety, so I will smoke maybe once in the blue moon.
Okay, meth doesn't help with anxiety.
I know it doesn't.
So
To stay awake, be able to function, but
No, no, no,
it's
no.
not.
my question is, everyone, please whisper. So here's the thing.
Mm.
We are past the point of excuses, right? I am trying to figure out what's going on in your life
Yes, ma'am.
so I can potentially get the help you need
Yes,
so you won't be going to prison.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's no excuse for using meth.
No,
You understand? So my question to you is, how often are you using?
not really. I just did it maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and marijuana, I do use it frequently.
All right, so your meth, that hasn't been 2 or 3 days ago, because if it was 2, 3 days ago, you wouldn't end up being positive for it.
I'm not too sure if it comes out of your system or not. That's why I would be honest.
And what are the ages of your children?
17 and 7.
And where are they right now?
They're at home with my brother. He's watching them.
Is Child Protective Services in your life? Have they ever been in your life?
I've never had an issue.
And who else is available to watch your children other than your brother?
I know.
All right, is your mom in the home?
Yes, ma'am.
So why didn't you lead with that?
My mom works with CPS Energy, so sometimes she works from home and sometimes she has to go to the office. So today she had to go to the office.
All right, there's gonna be a UA today. And you're gonna do that UA by what time, probation?
3 o'clock, Judge.
All right, by 3 p.m. I'm gonna want her tested for levels. And what else are you doing or not doing with your life?
No,
How do you spend your day?
I'm currently working.
All right,
And when I'm off, I'm with my son right now. It's summer. My daughter has a job, so my daughter works. So it's just me and my 7-year-old.
oh, and is your daughter the 17-year-old?
Yes.
And who all lives in the house?
My mom, my dad, myself, my children, and my brother.
All right. So probation, I'm gonna want a field visit. And probation, do you think a referral to felony drug court would help her or no? Or is that too quick?
It wouldn't hurt, Judge.
All right, so we're gonna do a referral to felony drug court. And let me just tell you, felony drug court is a difficult program, but they'll be able to help you with all the issues that you have. You have a mental health issue, they'll be able to help you with that. The BIPP course that you're supposed to be doing and the parenting classes that I'm gonna order for you, they're gonna help you with that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to go over there and be 100% honest with them.
Yes.
And if you miss your appointment with them, a warrant could be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
I understand.
So we're gonna do a referral to felony drug court. We're gonna do 120 sober meetings in 120 days. And she's gonna restart BIPP. And I'm gonna order parenting classes. And once you complete those parenting classes, her community service hours will be deemed satisfied.
Yes, Judge.
How far did you go in school?
12th grade, I wasn't able to graduate because I wasn't able to pass my tax test at the time. for
Okay,
Science and math.
all right. So what do you want to do with the rest of your life as far as employment wise? What's your dream job?
To supervise where I used to.
I'm sorry, what?
To supervise where I used to.
Okay, supervise where?
Loan companies. Broadway Finance, Midwest Finance, and loan. I used to work in field collections.
All right, so what are you doing to make yourself indispensable to somebody who needs you in finance?
Unfortunately, I can't get a job anymore.
Okay, what did she say?
Unfortunately, she can't get a job anymore because of her felony
With that field,
with that field.
All right, so then what's plan B? You got to have a plan A, a plan B, a C, and sometimes a D and an E. So what's your second plan?
oh, it's customer service. That's what I know. Right now I manage a laundromat.
Okay, all right, so are you taking any classes? They, sometimes at the college, they give free classes or they give classes with minimum fees to help people who are trying to improve themselves in their business. Because at some point, there are some occupations that I think are going to be done away with because of computers.
Mhm.
For example, when I was growing up, they used to have full service at the gas station. Somebody would come out, pump your gas, and you didn't even have to pay extra. They would clean your windows, they would check your oil, tap it off if it needed to be tapped off. Then they stopped doing that. And now at the grocery stores, they're doing all that self-checkout to eliminate cashiers.
Mhm.
So you need to figure out if where you work, if for some point in time they were to say, you know what, we don't need anybody working here. All we need is somebody to get the money from the machines. You need to figure out how can you make yourself indispensable. In the words of Briscoe County Jr., you need to figure out what the coming thing is and be prepared for the coming thing. Okay? So probation, anything else you need? All right, so here's the thing. You're on probation. You're on probation and you're looking at 3 years in prison if you don't successfully complete it. And if you end up going to prison for 3 years, guess what? Your 7-year-old is either going to be either going to be 10 or either going to be 11,
Mhm.
and your 17-year-old will be 20. Those are formative years that you will have missed. You're going to need to be clean and sober. If you have mental health issues, we're here to help you with that. Do you understand? And don't come to court positive. But I appreciate your honesty. But don't walk into a court positive when you're here for a compliance hearing. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So they're gonna do a referral for you for felony drug court. You let felony drug court know that you want to be in the program. It's hard, but if you successfully complete it and you really work that program, you're going to see great benefits and you're going to see great improvements in your life. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you need anything else, you can always come back to the court if you feel as though probation is not addressing it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so just have a seat. Probation is going to go over those conditions with you. And if you ever feel like using, pick up the phone. This is the court where I encourage people. If you feel like you're going to use, pick up the phone, call your probation officer and say, I think I'm going to use. And you know what they're going to tell you? All right, we're going to get you into a sober support meeting, or we're going to do this. The number one thing is not going to be, we're going to file a motion to revoke, because I want you to be clean and sober and healthy. And I want you to successfully complete this. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
When's the last time you were employed?
Like 4 months ago.
Doing what?
My dad has he owns a lawn care.
All right. What's the name of this person you were with?
Like working.
No,
Jack
and the police
Hernandez.
report.
Oh, some homeless guy that I was out there with.
All right, just off the record for a moment. So on this, instead of putting this in here, all right, we're back on the record.
It was just some random guy. I was homeless at the time. It was just some guy up the street. User.
Okay. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
How old are they?
I have a 17-year-old, a set of twins that are 14, and a 13-year-old.
And where are they?
They've been adopted. They've been out of my life for, well, I'm gonna say pretty much all my life.
Okay, how often were you using?
I was using for at least 10 years.
Okay,
I've been clean for almost a year already. I was using heroin.
well, it can't be almost a year because we're still in 20,
Barely going off like.
all right, because we're still in 2023. Am I right in that?
Yes, ma'am.
And this offense was April 3rd, 2023. So you haven't been clean for a year.
That's it's going on a year, right? I mean, a couple months, I guess.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to a $200 fine that'll be probated. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation. Sorry. Follow TAP recommendations. If they recommend inpatient treatment, she needs to go to inpatient treatment. And that's to be followed by felony drug court, 4 years deferred adjudication, 150 hours of community service restitution. The TAP evaluation is to take place in custody. Proof of employment within 45 days of release. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. We'll do the UA hotline until further notice. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Judge, she has a job, I believe, outside. But the real question is just, do we know about how long the TAP evaluations are taking right about now?
Probation, how long is TAP? 2 weeks.
Would the court consider? Well, I don't know. Would you like to explain to the court why you feel like you need to be?
Honestly, because me being sober living and my dad being back in my life, he's helping me get back into church, and I wanted to be a part of this ritual, this what is it called? It's like a woman barrier, and I wanted to go on this retreat so I can cleanse myself and actually.
Okay, let me ask you this. This retreat, does that retreat happen every year?
No, it's just like one time. It's just one time. Like I
Like they only have it one time forever?
No, ma'am, but honestly, this is what I signed up for. So I've been living with this lady and I told her I honestly would be there for her. And she's.
All
she's
right,
my
so
support. I'm not.
here's
lying.
the thing. I've read the police report.
Yes, ma'am.
There's heroin and everything else going on with you.
Yes, ma'am.
So no, the answer is going to be no from the court. You're going to do a TAP evaluation in custody. And if they recommend inpatient treatment, you're going into inpatient treatment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you been to prison before?
Yes, ma'am.
For what?
For intent to deliver.
All right. And so felony drug court is not going to accept her. So we can take felony drug court off the list and do a gang evaluation. What is the tattoo on your chest about?
Jesse. It's my ex-boyfriend. He passed away. I put his name. It's Jesse. That's it.
Okay. We're going to do a gang evaluation and we're going to remove felony drug court because with the intent to deliver, felony drug court is not going to accept her. You understand? Okay, here's the thing. You have a drug problem.
I
That's why
understand.
we're here.
I understand, ma'am.
And you've been to prison before. And so you still haven't gotten your life together. State has offered you deferred.
Trying.
People want
I'm trying right now.
to write their own program. Guess what? If you could write your own program, we wouldn't even be here because you would have written your program and you would have been successful and you wouldn't have been with some random guy that you don't know and y'all using random drugs.
That was the first case, ma'am.
Showing you that's what's in the police report for this case. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah.
So just have like a appeal form. So she
Yes.
follows up the agreement.
All right. So here's the thing. I don't understand why I'm getting pushed back in the attitude. Here's the thing. If you want to, you can withdraw your plea. In exchange, I will send you to the state jail facility. You can do your time, you can get out and you can again try to write your own program.
Mhm.
You understand? All right, so the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Jose Manjares. All right, you're asking that I sentence you to the 4 years? Do you have children or no?
I do, but I have I haven't had custody of them in so long.
All right, how old are they now?
My twins are 14 and the baby's 13, and I have an 18-year-old.
All right, the court will grant the motion. The court will find you guilty. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Would you like to be referred to the therapeutic community? It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody. It's just to help you with any drug issues that you may have. All right. And I'll request the therapeutic community. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
No, Judge, just, she has 104 days as of today.
All right. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Obviously, you have a drug issue. So when you go to the jail and then go to the prison, don't become institutionalized. When you get out, you need to make sure that you go to an AA meeting or an NA meeting. They have plenty of places that are free. If you can't find a free place, you can always come back here and I will direct you to a free place, okay?
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Judge.
I mean,
Hello, can you hear?
hello?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, are you Miss Gardia?
Yes, I'm Miss,
All right, is there a
Yeah.
reason you're not in court today?
I'm very ill.
All right, what is your issue?
I don't know how to pinpoint all of them, but I'm having a problem living.
Okay,
And my health is deteriorating.
all right, Miss Gardia,
Yes.
I'm gonna need you to come to court tomorrow, okay?
I can't make it there. I cannot.
All right. If you don't have a doctor's excuse or something
I'll have
from
to
your
go to
attorney that
emergency
you're in the hospital,
Send
you're
me
gonna have to come to
a
court.
mental hospital. This is to keep me what do you call it? Every time I do that, something bad happens to me.
Every
And,
time you come to court?
No, every time I go to the hospital, I can't, or do I have to go to a doctor or go to the hospital? And then they'll send me to a mental hospital, and I'm in the hospital for a long time. And then I come home and my place is wrecked.
Okay.
Okay, now there's some stuff going on, and there is an exploitation going on, identity theft and DNA through DNA, harvesting DNA for identity theft purposes with Haven for Hope and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I am a victim for almost 20 years. This is my issue, and I got abducted through them following me and falsely accusing me of this, what was going on. I am not a mental schizophrenic, paranoid, all the other things that they're saying. That's how they did it
All
through
right.
the internet. This
So,
is my situation.
all right,
So
I
I
understand.
don't, if I do that, this whole thing is going to go, and I am going to have a heart attack because I'm not well.
All right, I understand, Miss Gardia, but I'm gonna need you to come to court tomorrow. And then what will happen when you show up to court tomorrow? Your attorney will be here and your attorney will speak to you, because I need you to come in so that your attorney can speak to you in court. And so that your
Oh,
attorney
God.
can review your case in court.
That's it.
All right, is there anything else? All right, thank you, Ms. Gardia, and thank you to the person who helped her Zoom in. All right, Ms. Gardia? Hi. All right, Ms. Gardia, this is what's going to end up happening. I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. I'm going to give you a PR bond and waive the fees. And I'm going to order that you continue with the Center for Healthcare Services. Is there anything else?
I think so, Your Honor. I'll keep the court posted on progress.
All right, so Ms. Gardia, even though you're in handcuffs and in custody, what's going to end up happening is your attorney is going to do a walkthrough with you. So you'll be released today and you won't be going to the Bexar County Jail. Okay, you understand? So you're not going to be going to Bexar County Jail, but the problem is, right? They're going to have to take you back this way because you have to remain in custody until the PR bond issue is taken care of. But your attorney is going to go down there. They're going to take you down to the PR bond offices, which is, I believe, in the basement. And your attorney will be there and you'll be released from there. And if there is an issue, counsel, just let me know. And I'm going to reset this case. And you're going to have to make sure that you appear in court. You understand? All right. So I'm going to reset this case for February 20th. Is that enough time for everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. And Deputy Mejia, if you can make sure she gets to satellite, and then she'll be released from there. And Diana, update?
Looking up there.
No. Okay.
What the bond was set for.
Have any children?
No, ma'am.
How are you employed?
I'm currently unemployed at the moment.
Any drug use?
No, ma'am.
And if you were released, who would you be living with?
My grandmother.
Does she want you living with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you talked to her and she said she wants you living with her?
Yes, ma'am. I have a good support system out there with my family.
All right, you know you're not supposed to have weapons. Why do you have weapons?
I made a mistake, Your Honor.
No, you didn't. You made a choice. So why do you have weapons? You know you're not supposed to have them. A mistake is somebody gave you a bag, you didn't know weapons were in it, and then there were weapons. So why, you know you're not supposed to have weapons. Why are you having weapons?
Hanging out with the wrong people.
If I ask the wrong people that you're saying that you're hanging out with, if I were to ask them the same questions, you know what they would tell me? Hanging out with the wrong people. And I would say, well, who is that? And they'd say, Miss Gallegos. All right, I'm going to sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's to be a TAP evaluation and MIC evaluation in custody. And also a gang evaluation in custody. There's to be 180 hours community service restitution. She's not allowed to buy that out. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to want field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And I'm going to ask for the UA hotline. And while you're on probation, you're not allowed to have any weapons. All weapons seized are to be forfeited, along with any magazines and ammunition. And there's to be no contact with Michael Lee Kilgore. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And regular reporting by Zoom or in person of condition number 4, the court could find it guilty. I'm sorry, could find it true, grant the motion and sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to $1,000 fine. All right, so why should I follow this agreement? It appears that she hasn't done anything. Has she done anything on probation?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and then I had a compliance hearing. I always do compliance hearings. If there's an issue, people can come in, tell me what their issue is, and we can get them back on track. So I don't understand why I should continue her.
We're just asking the court consider it, Your Honor.
But I mean, somebody needs to give me a reason why, because she is on probation. She hasn't done anything. And to get her back on track, I set it for a compliance hearing and she did not show. So I don't understand why I should continue her.
I'll ask that I call my client, Your Honor.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jasmine Lingueros.
Are you asking the court to consider release or continue on probation?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
Because I never started it. And I got released and I didn't turn myself back in, but I want to do something better.
All right, do you need to speak up?
I want to do something better in life.
So the reason why you want me to continue you is because you were placed on probation, you were released, and you never did anything. So basically, you're just throwing yourself on the mercy of the court saying, I did nothing, but please continue me.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I mean, I was working at the Subway.
Okay, I
Pleasanton,
cannot hear
Texas.
you.
I was working in Subway at Pleasanton, Texas.
And where do you live?
In Pleasanton, Texas with my grandma.
Do you have anybody that you care for?
Yes, my grandma. She's sick right now.
Oh, let's
Okay.
not do that. Let's not do this thing where we're bringing in the sick relatives, the baby that nobody else can take care of, because you were supposed to report. Let's do this. This is what can help me understand whether or not I should continue. Let's assume you don't have a sick grandmother, you don't have any sick relatives, you don't have any sick children. It's just you. Why should you be continued on probation? Don't tell me that Subway needs somebody to make sandwiches. Let's assume that Subway doesn't need anybody to make sandwiches. Why should I be continuing you?
Because I want to prove to you that I can do it.
But you have not. But okay, but you want to prove to me that you can do it?
So
All right. Any other questions?
Is there any other reason why you're asking the court to continue on probation?
no,
Do you believe you have a drug problem?
no.
All right, so she don't have a drug problem. Why didn't you report?
Because they wanted me to turn myself back in.
I'm sorry, what?
Because they wanted me to come back and turn myself in.
All right. Why didn't you show up for your compliance hearing? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I don't know, ma'am.
All right.
Do you have a mental health issue? Have you ever been diagnosed with any mental health issues?
No.
All right. So I really don't have any reason to continue her. Her whole thing is, I didn't do anything. Don't revoke me. And the court reached, everyone knows, if somebody is falling off track, normally what I do in some situations, Ms. Gallegos, is because maybe sometimes people just fall off track. They just need to realize what they're looking at. And I set compliance hearings. And I'm not even going to consider, I set compliance hearings twice for you. The state only went on one, so I'm not even considering the other. But a compliance hearing was set for you to try to get you back on track to see, hey, is there something we're missing here? Is there something you need in order to be successful? And you didn't even show up for the compliance hearing. The compliance hearing was a step before your motion to revoke. because I had a choice at that time. I always get notices from probation. They'll tell me how a probationer is doing. If there are some issues, I will always usually check compliance hearing. Let's bring that person in and find out what's going on. And you didn't even show up for that. So I don't think you're a good candidate for probation. Everybody who's in custody will come before me when they're in custody and say to me, I want to prove to you I can do it. But, you know, history has shown that you can't because you didn't. So I don't know why it should continue. So I don't know if you want to talk to her, but I don't have a reason for why she didn't show up. Okay. All right. I'm not going to follow this proposed agreement. I don't think she's a good candidate for probation. She hasn't done anything. And she's been given opportunities to do things and she just refuses. And based upon her testimony, she didn't want to come back because she didn't want to turn herself in. I don't know what to do with that.
If the court were to grant your request for continued probation and the TAP evaluation, would you comply with the conditions of the TAP
Yes, ma'am.
and any recommendations thereof?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you also comply with any conditions of the gang ISP evaluation
Yes, ma'am.
as well as the mental health?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, my client's throwing herself in the mercy of the court and we're requesting that the court continue her on probation.
All right, so under cross-examination, under direct examination, she stated she doesn't have any mental health issues, so that's not an issue. And now I'm being thrown at that there may be gang issues with her. And part of the plea bargain agreement was, in this case, she was to forfeit weapons, magazines, and ammunition. So she was placed on community supervision for that, and she has done nothing. Court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. Court is going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $1,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. I'll recommend if she stated she doesn't have any drug issues, she doesn't have mental health issues, but I'll recommend the therapeutic community or the mental health unit at the prison. You'll have to recommend it as well because I have no jurisdiction. And if they discover that you do have a mental health issue, then they will take care of it there. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. You're going to have to start making better decisions. If you continue to pick up felonies in Texas, they're going to start labeling you as a repeater or a habitual. If you're a repeater, that means your range of punishment level is going to go up by one level. And if you're habitual, in some cases, your minimum is going to be 25 years at the prison. You have some choices you're going to need to make. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And when you're released from prison, if you need help with anything, you can always come back here if I'm here. Okay. Good luck to you.